BMW is more than just big off-roaders, crazy sports bikes and continent-crushing tourers. They also have a bit of a premium touch they bring to the segment with their road bikes, starting with this F900R. But is this the ideal entry point? Well, let's find out. The first thing you notice is the muscular stance of the 900R, in part due to the raised fuel tank. It looks ready for action even on the kickstand. The single headlight design is awesome, and in blue, it looks rather handsome. Everything from the sculpted seat to the stock exhaust seems purposeful and well thought out. It even has a sensor stand for easy chain maintenance. Gotta hand it to the Germans, they've mastered the art of blending form and function. It might not be your first choice when it comes to longer distance outrides, but the 900R has a few tricks up its sleeve. Let's address an obvious one first, the seat. There's no getting around it. It is hard. By no means a plank of wood, but it could definitely do with more padding. Fortunately, it allows for a lot of moving around to make yourself comfortable. It's also pretty low, so even if you are lacking in verticality, you should have no real issues getting along with the bike. In terms of ergonomics, you are pretty upright with a slight forward lean, but it's easy to get into attack mode when the situation calls for it. Your legs are slightly bent, nowhere near sports bike territory though. The reach to the bars feel natural and at just the right height. In short, the ideal naked bike proportions. We did notice that the rubber foot peg covers can feel a bit squishy and slippery though. As for wind protection, there is none. It is a naked bike after all. But with no screen or anything to create turbulence, you just get good clean air hitting your chest and helmet. Lean into it and make sure to hang on the faster you go. Pop in some good earplugs and enjoy the ride. Of all the current TFT displays on offer, BMW might just have the best in the biz. Crisp and clear in any lighting conditions with all the info easily readable and no font or size issues. Flipping the menu button and using the scroll wheel to navigate the menu takes all of 5 minutes to figure out, so good marks there. Some dash highlights include a big tach and speed readout, gear position indicator, riding mode, ambient temperature, a clock, and programmable trip info. Dig into the menus a bit and you'll find a My Vehicle page with tons of trip info. You also have a multimedia facility with navigation, music, and phone features controlled from the BMW Connected app. Everything can be configured to your preference, you just have to find it. My favorite, however, is the sports display, showing max lean angle, traction control intervention, and brake force applied. It also has a lap timer function. Interesting. There's just so much tech on this bike. We're talking cruise control, electronically adjustable suspension, heated grips, keyless ride, and 3 riding modes. You also have the option to integrate a BMW navigation unit. Then there's the previously mentioned app connectivity. This is especially handy for turn-by-turn navigation, route planning, and recording. There's a 12-volt socket just below the C2 for convenience. All this adds up to that premium feeling BMW does so well. The integrated grab handles and slightly raised seat might give the impression of this being a pillion-friendly option, and of course it could be. I would, however, only use it for short distance lifts. The pegs are reasonably angled, but the seat isn't too comfortable. Two-up travel is possible, but in my opinion, the 900R is best enjoyed solo. A nice touch are the integrated mounting points for luggage to give the 900R a bit more versatility. BMW will no doubt have a bunch of OEM options for customers to choose from. The fuel tank lets this bike down a bit, however. The theoretical range is about 210 k's, but when ridden in anger, it drops quite a bit. At 13 litres in capacity, you'll be filling up a lot more often than you'd like. In mixed riding conditions, we managed to get around 5.5 litres per 100 k's. The mirrors work okay. They aren't the most adjustable we've ever seen, and they do buzz quite a bit. Visibility is reasonable except for larger riders, in which case you'll have to learn to look around your shoulders and elbows. The slipper clutch is great on the 900R. Very light with engagement right where you'd expect it to be. It's also adjustable, so the reach never feels like too much work, regardless of the size of your hands. This clutch also makes it one of the easiest bikes to launch off the line, making life a little more interesting between traffic lights. The gearbox is set up in such a way that false neutrals are practically eliminated, which is awesome. Problem is, if you aren't very delicate between first and second, neutral might elude you more often than you'd like. One of the aces in the 900R's arsenal is its tight turning circle. The wide flat bars providing plenty of leverage coupled with a low center of gravity means turning the bike around in tight spots is very confidence inspiring. The low seat height makes backing into parking spots very easy indeed. I for one am a big fan of the lights on this bike. It does a cool little dance at startup, but more than that, they do such a great job of illuminating the road at night. It has a daytime running light too that makes for great visibility on the roads. And then there's its party piece, adaptive cornering lights. Exceed 7 degrees of lean angle in a corner and a little light comes on illuminating the inside corner to make seeing where you're going easier. Nifty, isn't it? The kickstand is easy to find when flicking it up. Finding it once it's up, however, is a bit trickier as the little extended thing isn't where you expect it to be. Instead, it's located behind the pegs, making it harder to reach. Fortunately, it doesn't lean over a crazy amount, so it isn't hard to get off the stand. There's also a center stand for added convenience. Switchgear is typical Beamer. If you've ridden any of their bikes, the layout and operation will feel very familiar. For the uninitiated, it's very easy and intuitive to use, which is always nice. On the left, we find most of our controls. This includes the multifunction scroll wheel, cruise control, fog light switch, and hazard lights. It also houses the menu toggle, suspension adjuster, traction control switch, indicators, and horn. On the right, we have the heater grip switch, mode selector, and start-stop button. It all feels very solid and well put together. The only thing we feel is missing is illuminated backlit switches. It is worth noting that if you have smaller hands, some of the controls might feel a bit harder to reach, such as the indicators. Now for the part you're really interested in, the engine. So, parallel twins were never built to set the world alight. I've even heard the word boring being thrown around, but in this machine it's anything but. From the moment you fire it up and blip the throttle, the word boring gets replaced with feisty. This is especially true once you select the first of its 3 riding modes. Dynamic. The throttle is crisp and responsive, the electronics less intrusive, and the 900R feels sharp as a blade. A whack of torque is available right from the bottom, making eager departures from a stop feel like you're being launched from a catapult. Want to dial it back a bit? Select road mode for a more relaxed throttle and a wider electronic safety net. It's no slouch, however, it still has more than enough poke for quick overtakes and gap taking. And then when the heavens open up, you have rain mode, a very elastic feeling throttle and quick to intervene traction control and ABS. Not as dull as you might expect, but enough to keep you out of trouble when things get greasy. For me, it's the torquey nature of this engine that really impresses. Firing out of corners is always a joy when you find yourself in the meaty part of the rev range. Slow isn't a strong suit. And yes, there is a bit of heat that radiates from the left side of the engine, but that's to be expected. Bottom line, crack it open and let her rip. That's where the 900R truly shines. As is the theme of this bike, going faster rewards you. At slow speed, low RPM, the quick shifter feels clumsy and awkward. Manually shifting for the first 2 or 3 gears is the way to go. Once you're tickling 7,000 or so RPM, the quick shifter works a treat, and a confident and firm tap down on the shifter will result in a crisp and responsive downshift. This bike doesn't do delicate. All things considered, the gearbox complements the bike quite well. The only real complaint is that the shift lever feels a bit small, especially for those with boots bigger than a size 9. The standard exhaust on the 900R is actually pretty good. It has a nice throaty grunt and burbles away merrily at idle. It almost sounds like a V-twin, but enough talk, let's take a listen. Two words that best describe the brakes are really sharp. A good initial bite that gets better and better the more you squeeze. Coupled with ABS and dynamic brake control, you feel in full control of the motorcycle at all times. There's even electronic engine brake control to prevent the rear from locking up or sliding out should you apply any inputs too abruptly. Very sporty stuff, all the points to BMW for safety. Where the F900R gets tricky to understand is the suspension. It's really stiff, and on bad roads it's almost unbearable. As a daily commuter with changing road surfaces, this could be a problem. And changing between dynamic and road settings makes little to no difference to the damping. But here's where things get interesting. On a smooth piece of tarmac, it is incredible. When you're hammering it through twisty sections of road, the handling is sublime. Holding its line through corners or changing directions is so easy, it's almost telepathic. On a straight, it's so stable you can pop cruise control on and steer the bike with nothing but your lower body. It's actually really impressive, and this begs the question, is the F900R designed to be an everyday commuter companion or a weekend blaster? From where I'm standing, it's the latter. The claimed weight of 211 kilos makes the bike sound heavy, but it really isn't. Moving it around the garage or maneuvering at slow speeds is never a problem. Does it affect performance? Maybe, but I doubt it's enough to detract from the overall brilliance of this motorcycle. The bike is fitted with Bridgestone battle axes as standard, and it's a 50-50 call. Some found the tires really grippy with a very quick heat-up time, others disagree. We'll chalk that up to personal preference, as it is something that's easily changeable. Is it beginner-friendly? No. For an absolute beginner, something like the G310R is a better choice. This is more suitable as a step-up bike, or even for someone returning to riding after taking a break for a few years. Is this a bike to have if you could only have one? Yes, but it's designed with a very special kind of buyer in mind. Let's call him Don. Don is around 25 years old, of average height and weight. He has a granite spine and enjoys going fast on the weekends. Don is looking to make the step up from an entry-level bike to something with a little bit more oomph. Tech and creature comforts are important to him, as is convenience. The premium touches and quality that BMW bring to the table is what sways our hypothetical buyer away from the competition and onto the seat of an F900R. And speaking of competition, this is how the Beamer stacks up. So, to answer the question we asked at the start of the video, yes, this is the ideal entry point into BMW's range of road bikes, provided it isn't your first bike. It's even a great way to introduce riders to what sports bikes have to offer. The tech, build quality and power of this motorcycle alone is enough to give you a pretty good idea of what the brand is all about. Just pick your color and off you go. We underestimated and misunderstood this bike completely, but now we see it for what it really is. It's a baby S1000R. And that's the F900R in a nutshell. A big thank you to our friends over at BMW Motorrad SA for providing us the bike for review. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing for more awesome content. I'm Josh from MotoTribe. Thank you so much for watching.